Hello everyone, this is Chaman Singh. Welcome to the course on algorithms. This course is created by Crowd Course Initiative. In this video, we will cover some algorithms based on unweighted graph. Topological sorting or toposort for directed acyclic graph is a linear ordering of vertices such that for every directed edge uv, vertex u comes before v in the ordering. Don't worry, it will all start making sense in some slides ahead. For now, let's concentrate on its applications. Topological sort is widely used in the world. Many of the Fortune 500 companies use it to schedule their tasks, where one task is dependent on other. Ever wondered why you get those package dependency errors whenever you use apt-get? Well, it uses topological sort to find out all dependencies of packages which must be installed. So now you know whom to blame next time. By the way, the same goes with the Java compiler. You can also use it in your daily life, from planning events, when to get your grocery, and even how to become an astronaut, as long as you can build a directed graph for it. So let's start by describing the kind of problems we can solve. We can solve any directed graph which does not have cycles in it. Thus, you cannot tackle the energy crisis problem by solving the yin-yangs or snake eating snake. Ask Yoda if you really want to. And if you still object, you will find biting your own tail. Yes, humans have tail. Check the Wikipedia citation. Okay, back to the topic. Now let's describe a DAZ. It has two components. A vertex is a certain task. In a DAZ, every vertex should be connected to some other vertex. Otherwise, it has nothing to do with the problem you are trying to solve in the first place. Next, the connection or the edge. It basically shows the precedence. Like vertex 6 is connected to 0 with an edge pointing from 6 to 0, which means task 6 must be completed before moving on to task 0. Now let's solve the same graph. First thing is to check whether the graph is acyclic or not. To do that, we redraw the graph such that all the edges point upwards. Start by choosing an vertex pair. In this case, we start with 6 and 0. Next, 0 is pointing towards 5, so we put 5 up in the graph. Similarly, 5 and 0 are both pointing towards 2. Note that 0 is also pointing towards 1, which is not connected to 2. Thus, we do not connect 1 and 2. 1 is connected to 4. Finally, 3 is connected to 6, so we put it beneath 6. 3 is also connected to 5, 2 and 4, so we make the appropriate connections. If you did that right, there will be no edge pointing downwards. Finally, your graph is Snoop DAG approved. The DAG can be solved using many algorithms, but we are going to stick to the DFS for this example. We start by expanding a vertex which has the highest number of edges pointing outwards. In our case, it is 3. We expand 3 to 5 to see that the path ends up at 2. So we mark 2 as potentially unexplored vertex, 5 as completely explored vertex, and since 3 still has some unexplored paths, we keep it unexplored. Next, we push the result in reverse order, that is 2 to 5. Now the next vertex connected to 3 with highest number of edges pointing outwards is 6. So we visit 6 to discover that it goes from 0 to 1 and ends up at 4. Note that 6 is also connected to 4, so we mark 4 as potentially unexplored, 3 as still unexplored, and 6, 0 and 1 as completely explored since there are no further paths from them. Thus we push the result in reverse order, that is 4 to 1, 1 to 0 and 0 to 6. Now we visit 4 from 3, which is still potentially unexplored, to discover that it has no further edges. Thus we mark 3 and 4 as completely explored and push 3 to the result. Finally, all vertices are explored and the result is 2, 5, 4, 1, 0, 6, 3. Now that we got the result, we reverse it once again, so it becomes 36014552. Okay, now let's check our results just to be sure. 3 can be done before any other vertex because it has no inward point edge. After completing 3, we can surely go for 6. Similarly, 0 can be done after 6, no inbound edges. After 0, 1 and 4 can be done because 1 has no other edges and 4 is connected to 6, which is already done. Then 5 and 2 can be done. Alright, that's it. Now let's move on to another topic, connectivity in graph. A graph is connected when there is a path between every pair of vertices. In a connected graph, there are no unreachable vertices. A graph with just one vertex is always connected. A graph is said to be strongly connected if all of its nodes are connected and each node is reachable from every other node, otherwise that connected graph is known as weakly connected graph. Even if a graph is not strongly connected, its subgraphs may be strongly connected. These subgraphs are known as strongly connected components of the graph. In this picture, there are three strongly connected components. Here is the pseudocode for Kozrazu algorithm to compute strongly connected components. We first initialize a counter C to 0 that will be used to label the nodes. Then we choose an arbitrary node in the graph and start DFS on that node. We mark the current node during traversal and increment the counter and set current node's label as C. We repeat this process until all the nodes are labeled. We run the second pass on reversed graph. We first reverse the graph by reversing the direction of all the edges. Then for every label n-1 up to 1 we created during first pass, we run DFS and group every reachable node as strongly connected component. The asymptotic running time of Kozrazu's algorithm is same as that of DFS, that is linear in number of vertices and edges. The application of strongly connected components include recommendation for friends on social network, products on shopping sites, advertisements, and model checking in formal verification. I hope you enjoyed learning these graph concepts. Thanks for watching the video.